19 this, 19 that. We found this in Napoleon Bonaparte, yes, and everything. It's in all my books. We found it in ancient Greece. We found it in ancient Egypt. Can't you see? Yes, I'm not lying. This is becoming a ridiculous fucking joke.
Welcome back, David. Once again, everybody is excited to continue the exploration and especially also to any and all further information you can give responding to some of the comments that certain people made, which at this point, even though some people may sometimes think they seem maybe a little bit, let's say, quote unquote fundamentalist or maybe even trollish, they often trigger further information to be revealed by you. So I'm very happy for that and from that perspective, and I hope everyone enjoys the presentation today. Welcome, David.
Hi. Firstly, I would like to say welcome and hello from Daddy. Not the
Oh,
Western Daddy.
we have a new dad now.
Eastern Daddy.
David, I'm confused now. I have a new dad.
Oh, you've got lots of them.
Multiple dads. Okay.
Yes. The thing is, you have to bow down. Yes. These people know everything. They've got historical documents to prove the history. Also, they've got historical sites, everything. Okay. Now, the thing is, many people, of course, history upsets people. Now, the thing is, yes.
History is made to upset people almost, no? At least the current version of history. It's made to have people upset, yes.
It's unfortunate, but we have to face reality. Yes, when we go back into the past, the world's population goes down, and then the thing is, even in theosophy or masonry, or in any form of thinking, even in Hinduism, yes, we have to go to the old way or to the Purana way, Puranas. Yes, the old way, whereby the population goes down and the humans have a common ancestor. Yes, which we would say Adam in the West, in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, or Purusha in the East, let's say in Hinduism, or in Thailand, they would call it a different name, or in Japan, or in Tibet or China, it depends on the language. Yes,
I honestly don't even know the Eastern variants of this. So you're saying that many Eastern religions or cultures also have at least one of these ideas that everyone is descending from something like Adam and Eve?
Oh, because you're asking what I am saying. Now, what I am saying depends on your mental state and your mental interpretation of what I'm about to say or what I did say. And what I'm about to say is relative to what I am going to say. But the relativity is a state of mind, and it depends on your consciousness.
Wait, let me guess. It means I need to take a few courses in India and in, I don't know, Tibet or somewhere to understand it.
Holstein. Don't you get it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I need to take more courses to understand what you're saying.
So now some people will say that, yes, what about these practices? There's meditation practices in the West and in the East. It depends on your own idea of meditation. But now the thing is, yes, I'm not going to talk garbage. Let's get to the reality. Now, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever you want to call it, Zen Buddhism or Shin Buddhism, or the related things, even going as far as Taoism in China, many of these things people will say originated in India. Yes, India is a blessed place. I'm crazy about the place. I'm not going to lie. For example, when I was in Delhi, or the local people call it Delhi, I was with this family. They're a modern family, Indian family, and they're supposed to be Hindus, but they're very secular, and I had a very great time with them in the family, and there is in the family one of the men is called Rahul, his sister's called Krishna. If they're listening, hi. Yes, I made some amazing friends. I spent time with them. They're from Patparganj in Delhi. I even remember the area. I'm crazy about Patparganj. Yes, it's modernizing, and it's amazing anyway. But the people were amazing, yes. And the thing is, what Rahul said to me, yes, I like that name. It's a beautiful name, Rahul. Yes, and the thing is, what he said to me, he said, we're all trying to reach God, yes, or come together with God, and or serve God, whichever way you want to say it.
Hmm.
And there's different ways. And he said, what in the Western eyes people would perceive or think of as idolatry, they say the idols are there to remind people. Same like in the Orthodox Church, that the pictures are there
Hmm.
to remind people. So now he argued and said, the thing is, when people meditate with the images or concentrate on the idols, their focus is to get closer to God or to become one with God. Yes. So the thing is, and he said there's different paths and there's different ways. Like there could be yoga, but then somebody else could say yoga is exercise. So there's many different forms of exercise and calmness and things like this. No problem. I've got no problem with that. I am not here to talk about somebody's mental state or things like this. I'm here. I'm going to talk about history and
Yes.
if there's anything true in history or the fraud. Now, the first thing is the majority of India looked like this in the 19th century, not because they wanted to live like this by choice. Something happened in India, and this is a fact that even Indians can verify it, and other people like that. Let's just look at something happened in India. It doesn't mean India was like this before the 19th century. Now, in the 19th century, yes, even though the census is a fraud, the British were there, but the British didn't directly rule. There were principalities. They had their allies. Yes, and the thing is, all their allies, they were together with the British because the aim and objective was to subdue the people and to control them
Right.
and to become their masters. So what we can see is that in India there was something wrong. Yes, what do you call it? Yes, the literacy was 90% of the people couldn't read or write, and they didn't know anything. 97%, the 3% who knew, were at the top, la creme de la creme, and the people who were trained by the British and their allies. Yes, and then we are told, yes, I mean, you could read this yourself. This is what we are told about India. Yes, by the Indians themselves. The Indian principalities and the British were a minority there. But this is what they're telling us. You could read it.
Yes. It says The Lancet, which is one of the most famous important journals, reported that nine. No, no. Oh my God. Okay, 19 million people died from starvation and the consequences of extreme poverty in British India between 1896 and 1900.
That's it. Yes. So this is the modern history we're looking at, but it's a fact. Most Indians could verify. Yes, even just 20 years ago, and even today. Yes, there was millions of people, or more than half the people in the late 19th century were naked or half naked, and the white clothes that they're wearing there was made by a machinery that was manufactured in Europe. Yes, and things like this. Even when we see Gandhi, yes, and his men there, yes, what we are seeing is many of the cloths were made from Western machinery. Some of the factories were in Bombay or Mumbai, and when we see these pictures, it looks like that Gandhi is leading the Indians there. But what I want you to pay careful attention to is what you call it. Gandhi was always surrounded by his masters. Yes, what you will see in the background is Westerners with European hats or military hats, the round hats, one right behind his head, one on the right hand side, another guy on the
Wow,
right
it's really
side,
nice how you can
another
clearly
one.
spot them. It's like his handlers, and they even clearly dress differently. That's
Oh,
amazing.
yes, and they also had the weapons and everything to shoot anybody on sight. Yes. So the thing is, but then here we see all these movements, and all of them are wearing the white clothes, because don't forget, the world was poor, more poor then, and after crude oil and all these other things, to actually put coloring in the clothes, or what do you call it? The clothing was white, and then with black, black came, and then other colors. So the thing is, here is South India. We're talking about Madura, and the people were half naked. Now, these people who are there cannot afford clothes. Just if you look carefully at this photograph, somebody from Europe, of course, or from the West, whoever paid for it, for the camera crew to take photos. Look carefully at the clothes. The clothes are brand new. So
Yes.
this means they were just given those clothes just for the photograph. Apart from the lady who's on the floor, or the gentleman, I'm not sure, they don't even have shoes. So the thing is, there was that much poverty. These people can't read and write. What sort of a religion do you think they have? What sort of a religion?
Well, if
You see?
anything, then something very directly associated with their life and with nature. Yeah, but what they would
Who
have,
said
no
even
idea.
that? Who said that? So the thing is, it's wrong to be judgmental. So now let's move forward, and we'll get down to the nitty gritty. Now, I could write a book on this. Now, the thing is, many people, there are some idiots who are saying I copied from blogs. Okay, I challenge you, after you've listened to this video, show me which blog I got this information from, what I'm going to say in this video. Yes, I'm challenging you now. And also, Flamenco showed the history of India. I've never wanted to boast. This is the first time I'm going to boast. What I'm saying in this video right now, every single thing I discovered myself. Yes, the Quran did help me. Yes, because it told me about information to do with astrology. Yes, that these people are doing something with astrology, and they're inventing history, and they're using the number 19. Yes, it tells you some things about the number 19, etc. Not that they are directly using it, but they're using astrology. And the thing, I've explained this more in I've explained the secret of this. Yes, clearly in this book, Secrets of the Kabbalah. But what I'm going to go through this video, yes, it's actually, it even shocks me. It makes me think, what the hell is going on? Who would create this history, and why would they do it? So, but I'm going to declare ancient India did not exist. Now, in the West, we've got Christianity, Islam, Judaism. That religion has shaped our history. Same like the great French researcher and his allies. It's like I've always said, there's some French researchers that I respect. The greatest, I would say, is Didier Lacapelle. Yes. Same like I've been inspired by his works. It doesn't mean that I've copied any of it. A lot of his works, I don't understand it. It's like I have to read through his blogs that he's got online, Didier Lacapelle's blogs. But if anybody's saying I've copied or anything, prove it. Put your money where your mouth is, or go back to the toilets where you belong. Okay, so now let's start. Yes. So now Lord Shiva, Hinduism, everyone's heard of him, part of the three Murti. Yes, from Brahman. Many people don't know what is the three Murti. They can go and check it out themselves. Yes, similar to the Trinity. I'm not going to waste time explaining. Go and do some research yourself instead of just believing something. Now, about Lord Shiva, what do we know? You could read it yourself.
19 avatars of Lord Shiva. I guess that's
What?
the most
How many
important.
avatars is there that,
One,
that he
nine.
incarnates into Earth?
19 avatars. Yes.
So, according to Hinduism, there is 19 main avatars of Lord Shiva. Yes, and we can know this from the Shiva Purana. Yes, you could read this yourself. What is the Shiva Purana?
The Shiva Purana is one of 18 major texts of the Purana genre of Sanskrit texts in Hinduism and part of the Shaivism literature corpus.
Ah, so there's supposed to be 18. Yes, but the thing is, many people are arguing. They were arguing in the late 19th century. Yes, and even into the 20th century, and even today. Yes, many people are arguing, yes, which one is supposed to be the 19th Purana. Yes, so this is a big debate, yes, amongst these so-called upper higher up scholars, and they're trying to fight which one it is, or which one is it? Is it the Srimad Bhagavatam? That's somebody there, yes, and what do you call it? But no, somebody else is going to disagree. Yes, so the 19th Purana is, I think, a big topic. Somebody else is going to say, no, it's the Harivamsa Purana. Yes. So the thing is, the 19th Purana is such a big topic. It's even on Hare Krishna TV. They've debated it. You know, it's a big thing. What do you call it? Yes, is this the Srimad Bhagavatam the 19th Purana? Is it or is it not? Yes. So we can see even so the thing is, you know, they don't know which one it is. So that's the fighting. Which one? It's like, you can see it. It's a big topic. Yes. Sri Vasudeva Dev Ananda Saraswati Swami Maharaj. Yes, he lived 100 years ago, and they're claiming that he compiled the 19th Purana. Yes, and they're saying take our 19th Purana. Yes, and the thing is, I think he lived in the 19th century. Wait, have I got this right, or have I got this wrong? Yes, he lived in the 19th century, or about 100 years ago. So here he is, this guy that they're claiming, and what do you call it? They're claiming that he is a Hindu saint, and
Cool picture.
he reincarnated.
It's got a nice picture.
Yes, the thing is, as you could see, these pictures are arranged and they were
Yes.
invented, yes, by the Europeans. Yes, the Europeans and the Hindu books and his allies. But anyway, yes, let's just have a look a little about this guy. It's like while we're at it, yes. Yes, and this guy is supposed to have written the 19th Purana, but not all. But the others will say rubbish. We don't accept it. But you can read it. He has authored what?
Vasudevanand Saraswati, also known as Tembeswami.
No. I've sent you a new page. What is this? So what has he written?
Oh, here we go. All right, so this guy authored around 19 books.
What? Yeah. Wait a minute. I thought he's supposed to have written the 19th Purana, but people reject it. But he has written how many books? Around how many?
It says around 19 books. Again, Wikipedia entry. Now that's interesting. Around 19.
I'm not going to go into this guy. Yes. And the thing is, what do you call it? While the Europeans were there, it's like there's this guy's suspicious. He established the Datta Mandir in Mangaon in 1883, etc., etc., etc. Yes. So the thing is, you know, when we say British, yes, some people have to realize India was not exactly directly ruled by the British. There was principalities. Yes, and same like in Europe, like Germany in World War One and Turkey in World War One, the so-called Ottoman Empire or the German Austro-Hungarian empires. So the thing is, the princes, yes, the British managed to put their puppet princes in power in each of the states. Yes, so the entire history is not actually, you know, like invented by the British. It's by the British and their allies. Yes, as you could see. So so we've just gone through the Shiva. Yes. So there's how many avatars of Shiva did you say?
About 19 or 19, yes.
Ah, yes. And so Shiva. Many people dispute. Yes. How many other avatars of Shiva there is, for example, because there's going to be some people say, the Kurma Purana, this one says that many, etc., etc. Yes, but so the thing is, I'm not going to go into that right now. It's a long story. Yes. So Now let's move forward to going through ancient Indian history with the religion. It's a lot tied to religion according to what they're telling us. So what do we know about here? For example, there is a month in India called the Sawan month or the Shravan month. Remember, there is Mahamudra, but then the local people in China, they say Mahamuda. Yes, so there is the Sawan month, and because of Sanskrit and variations, many people will say Shravan month. Yeah, so during that month, yes, Lord Shiva is worshipped. You can see, yes,
Yes.
yes. So the thing is, when we look through this, this Savan month, what do you call it? Yes, um, Savan month. It sounds like the number 7. Yes. Yes, you can see
It
this,
does, yes.
and so the thing is, what they will do is, what do they do during this month? A few
Devotees
times a
worship
day.
Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati,
No,
and
no, no. I've sent you a few
yes,
more pages since then.
um, these days considered all Mondays or Shomvars which fall during Shravan month are considered highly auspicious for fasting.
Ah, so they do fasting. Yes, so a few days of that month. Yes, they do fasting. Yes. So as we can see, it's a very important holy month, Savan, or Savan, Sivan, Shravan, however you want to pronounce it. So now when we come to the West, what do we see? You
It
could
is
read
a
this.
month of 30 days. Shivan usually falls in May-June on the Gregorian calendar. Shavuot, the festival of weeks, marks the day the Torah was given to the Israelites at Mount Sinai.
Ah, so now in the West, we're told that Sivan in that month, yes, it's a holy month because God gave the Torah to Moses, the prophet Moses. You see? You see?
So it's like in the same time, it's just copied over.
The name is the same, right? Soon you're going to realize what this is about. So now here we can see in the month of Sivan or Savan or Sawan or Seven, yes, God gave, what do you call it? Yes, the Torah to the Jewish people. Now, if we
All
go
right.
to India, in the month of Savan or Shravan, however you want to say it, they're doing fasting. So now, what is it that is supposed to be that written down in Christian and Jewish history, according to ancient rabbis and Christian chroniclers?
The 20th of day of the month of Shivan has been designated by sages to be a day of fasting and commemoration
Ah,
of tragedies.
okay. So both the months are linked to fasting. Yes, and so now when we go to Islam, they have a month. Yes, that what do you call it? Yes, which is called Saban. It's supposed to be holy, yes. And can you see it?
Yes, obviously, it's designated as holy
Yeah.
in both religions, yes.
So if you're fasting on a Monday, yes, that means just for the month. So you're probably fasting 3 or 4 times, and for the 20th of Sivan or something, you're probably fasting 1 day, 2 or 3 days. So now the Muslims have Saban or Shaban, and it's the same thing. So they say it's holy, and according to the alleged history that's in Islam, not the Quran. This is the so-called history. Yes, what do they do? For 3 or 4 days that month.
It is sunnah to fast on the white days, 13th, 14th, and 15th Shaban.
Ah, so it's connected to fasting, temporary fasting, not a lot. Yes, so there is something wrong here. We can see that these three came from an original system. This is what we can see. Yes, but I'm not going to go deep into that. But let's go further. Yes, so now you could read this yourself.
Which god is represented by 19 Mukhi Rudraksha? The 19th Mukhi Rudraksha represents Lord Narayana, the supreme of all lords. It has blessed the wearer with all the comforts of life. The be
Okay. So now there is many different um, um, Mukhi Rakshas. Yes, some not 19, some other things. Yes, but the 19 one stands out because it's supposed to represent the supreme of all lords. Like the 15 one is for something else. You could read what the 15 Mukhi Rudraksha is for.
The 15 Mukhi Rudraksha helps the wearer to come out of the pasha bondage instinct and proceed towards freedom or self-realization.
So we could see there is different meanings. So now, what do you call it? Yes, here I'll send it because there is going to be all these people. Yes, who are going to say no. Shiva has more than 19 avatars. You could read it here. Yes.
19 avatars. According to the Shiva Purana, Shiva has 19 avatars. According to the Kurma Purana, he has 28, just so maybe people can
Okay.
have some confusion.
Okay. So that makes it simple. The Shiva Purana, which is exactly the same name, there is 19 avatars. The Kurma Purana does not say Shiva Purana. Yes. So I just thought I will make this clear. Yes. So now let's have a look at some things. What many people are teaching to people in India. Like some of these practices, people are saying are ancient. So tilak is something that people will put as decoration on their head for different reasons because there's different groups, different sects. Yes, you could say it's a decoration and many different things. What is a tilak?
It is, here from Indian history, from Britannica, a tilak in Hinduism, a mark, well, generally made on the forehead, indicating a person's sectarian affiliation.
So that's okay. It's pretty simple what it is. Yes. So now let's see what are they telling us.
Tilaka, there are, drum roll, 19 types of tilak.
Yes. For some reason they're telling us this, even though it's disputed. Yes. So now when we go to my book Secrets of the Kabbalah, I explain there, yes, the relationship and the meaning of 19 and 33. Yes, or what is known as to some people as the 33rd degree. Yes. So now the tilak. Yes. So let's see the tilak. Yes. Go ahead.
Among some sects, the mark is made on 2, 5, 12, or 32 parts of the body, as well as on the forehead.
Okay, so 32 parts of the body as well as the forehead. How many is that?
32 plus 1 is 33.
Okay. So now there is a reason why there's 2, 5, and 12. All these things about the 33rd degree. Yes, this will be out in my
Also,
book.
2, 5, and 12 are 19 as well.
Yes, you're right. So that is going to be explained actually in about the 33rd degrees in my new book, which will be out next month. Yes. So the thing is, the tilak is very suspicious. So now let's go to there's 18 official Puranas according to most of the sects and historians. Yes, but the 19th one they're not sure about. So the Garuda Purana, what is it?
The Garuda Purana is one of 18 Mahapurana texts in Hinduism.
Okay. There is the Great Purana text, and then there's the lower than Great Purana text. There's 18 on either side, and then they're fighting about which one's going to be the 19th. 19th is the big number of issue. So the Garuda Purana, yes. Let's have a look. What do they teach us about this Garuda Purana?
The Garuda Purana is a Vaishnava Purana and has, according to the tradition, 19,000 verses.
19,000. Oh, yes. Nothing suspicious about all this. Yes. So the thing is, I am not here to talk about religion. I'm here to talk about history so that somebody will see, people will realize that there is something wrong. Yes. Yeah. So the thing is, there is something wrong when this sort of history is there. It's like, for example, here is another one. Yes, in the Times of India. Yes, from the Times of India itself. Yes, nothing I'm making up. You can read this yourself.
How India came to be known as Bharat Mata. The idea of India as a mother is traced to Unabhimsa Purana, the 19th Purana.
See, they can't make up their mind. And this literary figure, I think he's more recent. I've forgotten. Yeah, recent. So there's many of these things. So they're fighting everywhere. Yeah, they're saying there's 18 Puranas. Yes, but they're fighting about which one is the 19th. The Sri Maha Shasta Vijayam. Yes. What is this considered to be by other people and other
Again,
sects?
considered as the 19th Purana.
Yeah, and so we can see that they're conflicting. Like the Times of India said, it's the Unabhimsa Purana. Yes, and whoever wrote it at the time. And here is the New Indian Express. They're saying it's the Srimad Bhagavata, that this one is the what?
The 19th Purana.
And how many verses does it have?
In this case, 1.8 lakh, which I believe is 1,000 verses, or
Yeah,
10,000 or
yes,
something.
yeah.
Lakh is
So
like
as we
a number in Indian counting.
Yeah, there's 18 Puranas, you noticed? So whoever wrote it with 18 something thousand or whatever verses. Yes, you can see. So you can see the mathematical pattern. Yes. So what do you call it? Yes, they're still fighting about the 19th Purana. It depends where you go. Here is another group or sect. Yes, in New York, Long Island, in America. What do they say?
They say Param Puja Gurudev wrote 19th Purana called
He
Praja
wrote the
Puran.
19th Puran. So they're saying the Pragya Puran is the 19th one. See? Yeah, so the people cannot, so it's like they're fighting about this. Yeah. There's videos online about this. So it's like the 19th one is a big topic. You see? Why would you make it a big topic? Yes. So last time we went through Shiva. Yes. So now the Garuda Purana, how many verses did it have?
About 1.8 lakh, it said, or
No, no,
1.9.
no, the Garuda
No,
Purana.
so sorry, this was the 19th Purana, and the Garuda Purana. I have to scroll up again. The Garuda Purana, here it says 19,000. Yes.
Ah, so it has 19,000 verses, or supposed to have. Yes, with the different versions, different manuscripts. And so you could read this yourself, the second paragraph, Vishnu and incarnation. Vishnu is part of the Trimurti, the Trinity.
Yes. The Garuda Purana lists 19 avatars of Vishnu, while the Bhagavata Purana lists 22 in one place and 23 in another.
Yeah. So the Garuda Purana, which is important, yes, says there's 19, but the Bhagavata, which is also supposed to be important, says 22 and then 23. Yes. So the thing is, we're seeing something strange is here. Yes. So let's go through other aspects of Hinduism. Yes. Then you will be able to understand why there is the contradiction. Shani Mahadasha, very important in India for people who follow these things, astrology and religion. What is the Shani Mahadasha?
Shani Mahadasha, a 19-year period, is a significant phase in one's life during which Saturn becomes the primary influencer,
Satan.
bringing forth both positive and negative impacts depending on individual karma and the planet's position in the horoscope.
So the Shani Mahadasha is how many years?
19-year period.
Ah, yes. So if anybody looks at astrology related to Indian history or ancient India, Dasha they call it, and Saturn lasts for 19 years, according to them. Yes. And what do you call it? Yes. And all the others, somebody will say, but David, Ketu is 7 years, Venus is 20 years, the Sun is 6 years, the Moon is 10 years, Mars is the 7 years, Rahu is 18 years, Jupiter is 16 years. It's only one, Saturn, that's 20 years. Come on. Don't you think I'm prepared for you guys? Yes? Who are out there, one, being septic, and two, on purpose spreading lies, saying, oh, David copied all this from some blogs, 10, 20 pages of blogs. I could write a book on this. I haven't had the time to write about it. But if you compare it to the life of Napoleon or any of my other books, you will know, what do you call it? It's just a joke. Yes? The history, which is, European history is to do with the Crusades, the Bible. That history is just a joke. So the thing is, in the East, they did the same thing. So now let's see what is important about Saturn in the Shani Mahadasha. What do we know? You could read this from the title.
What is important in Saturn Mahadasha? But then another fact is that Shani is also among the most dreaded and feared planets. Shani is the planet for justice.
See, it's so feared, it's so dreaded. That's what they're telling us. You see? And so there's all these other Mahadashas, influences from planets. Let's go to what people are saying. This is on Quora instead. Where normal people, everyday people comment. What do they write?
Which Mahadasha is the most dreadful, is the question. The most dreaded Mahadasha is often considered to be the one associated with the planet Ketu, known as Ketu Mahadasha.
Yes. So many people are saying it's Saturn, but then other people are going to say it's Ketu. Ah, okay. So just in case some people don't know what Ketu is, yes, and then what Mahadasha is, it's to do with astrology, numbers, arranging things for the future, past, and it's like some people base their life on astrology. Yeah, Ketu, just like another one of the planets to your whatever sign Rahu, yes, is what?
Ketu Mahadasha effects and remedies. Ketu, much like Rahu, is an imaginary planet and one of the most
Ah,
planet and one of the most mysterious
okay,
and
okay,
influential entities
okay,
in
that's
Vedic
enough.
astrology.
That's enough. I can imagine there's a planet called Bob.
Yeah, but it's relevant because it's not only imaginary, but
Oh,
also
it's
the
relevant.
most.
It's relevant.
Yes, but it's the
Relevant.
most mysterious and influential. Yes.
Bob is going to become mysterious, and Bob is going to become influential. I'm going to make sure that bad things happen every day whenever it's the day of Bob. Yes,
Yes.
on the
Yes. I
anniversary,
like your
what
plan,
will
David.
happen?
Yes.
What will happen is that a
Economic
war will
recession.
start.
Yes, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
it's like there's just going to be rockets coming from Israel into Gaza or from Gaza into Iran. I mean, it's going to become the most mysterious and influential soon. You wait for it, Buster. How dare you say Bob is not influential? Yes, you see.
Uh-huh.
So here they are. So there's many people who are pushing for it because they want to make money so that they could sell it. So what do they say here? The Narada Purana.
Soon the number of Puranas came to be stated as 18, though actually 19 Puranas are enumerated.
Yeah. So you see, it's like depending on which sect or which group or whoever's going to make money. Yes, money. It depends on money. Yes, that
Get
the
money,
thing is yes.
get
so,
money.
so yeah, that's the thing. So the thing is, as let's have a look at some of these people from the 19th century who lived into the 20th century and see what they're doing. It's not just ancient times, 19 incarnations, 19 avatars. So here is Sri Ramakrishna. Yes. Let's have a look at this. Yes. And what do they teach? What is this? Read this. Let's see if anybody could make common sense out of this.
Sri Ramakrishna, the Great Master. The Master Sadhana of the Madhura Bhava. 1. The natural inclination of the Master's mind since childhood was to merge in spiritual moods. I already like the headline.
So you know what? You know what? All these children, I've got nephews and nieces. I could say they're all in spiritual moods when they're quiet, or when they're not quiet, or when they're playing, when they're jumping around. Who decided he was in spiritual moods? Carry on.
The Master was accustomed to remaining absorbed in any mood. Whence...
You know what? My niece, you know my niece? My niece, sometimes I want her to be silent when she's running around. Yes. So you know what I do? Yes. I actually put on a mask or something, and then she a Halloween mask, she gets frightened, and then she remained in the same mood, goes quiet. So carry on.
That mood is... So, remained absorbed in any mood, whensoever it arose in his pure and one-pointed mind. That
Are
mood...
you trying to say that all the children in the world don't have a pure one-pointed mind? Do they have a six-pointed mind or a Saturn-pointed mind? Carry on.
19-pointed mind, probably.
Okay.
That mood fully occupied his mind for the time being and wiped off all other moods and converted his body into a perfect instrument suitable for its manifestation.
You know what? My nephew, he's actually a manifestation of Napoleon Bonaparte. Don't you know this? Or my other nephew is a manifestation of John F. Kennedy.
Well, even just the idea of, childhood...
It's not an idea.
Development.
How dare you say it?
What
My
I want to
nephew
say
is
is
actually
what
John
is being
Kennedy.
described here would be the perfectly normal state for any child, just as you pointed out with your niece, because any child is focused and then is manifesting, whatever happiness or playfulness
do you know what?
they're engaged in.
You know what? Yes. It's predicted that what do you call it? My sister's going to give birth on 25th of December. Don't you know? It's going to be a manifestation and reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
It's gonna be the Kwisatz Haderach, but maybe you don't like Dune as much as I do. But yes,
the words that they're using, they're playing with people. Yes, and he's called
not just even it's fancy words, but the description so far would be for any child that has a somewhat happy childhood. That's how they are reacting. They are always absorbed in what they're engaged in. But anyhow, I'll continue in the text.
No, they're using these difficult words to get to people. Carry on.
When we study his life, we get acquainted with his nature we get acquainted with this nature of his mind since his childhood. We observe this nature of his almost daily when we were visiting Dakshineswar. While he was merging in any particular spiritual mood as the result...
Wait a minute. Raphael.
Yes.
Silence. My brain is merging into a particular spiritual mood right now. I can see the planet Saturn. Carry on.
Yes.
While I'm seeing the planet Saturn in my particular spiritual
While
mood.
he was merging in any particular spiritual mood as the result of his listening to devotional music or for some other...
I need some music. Oh Lord have mercy, mercy, mercy. Follow me. I want a shy guy. Carry on.
Or for some other reason, he...
Oh, sorry. It's a different reason. I could hear some music, but it's not really music. It's sorry. I meant I need to go to the toilet. Sorry, it's the other reason. Carry on.
He, we found, felt in his mind extreme pain if anyone sang or talked of any other mood.
Raphael, you're talking in a different mood than me. You're supposed to be singing in the same mood as me. I've got extreme pain. Come on.
Now that doesn't sound like emotional blackmail at all. Yes.
It's just pure brainwashing. It's just pure brainwashing that he was a guy. He was one of the stooges of the people in power in the 19th century when half the people were naked. Yes, in India, more than half the people. Yes. So the thing is, what do you call it? Here he is in 1884, as you can see. So these people, yes, have become they've got very big. They've got many followers and all around the world. But you could read this in green.
Yes, this is Sri Ramakrishna.
Yeah, it's from the same guy from his website, from his
Yes.
followers' website today.
So this is a supposedly quote from Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He says, "Can you
No,
weep?"
I've sent you the next page.
Oh, we're already moving on. All right. There's something else here.
Yeah,
So
read this very fast.
here, the Bhairavi Brahmani and later Vaishnavacharan and other sadhakas, well versed in the Vaishnava scriptures, were astonished to see the manifestation and the impulse of the Badura Bhava of those signs in the holy person of the Master and offered him their heartfelt worship and reverence. Speaking,
So what they're saying here is that there were people who came and now they're following him. Yes? So they're worshipping him, revering him as if he's a god. Carry on.
speaking of the Mahabhava, the Master told us on many occasions. It is written in the devotional scriptures that 19 kinds of emotions manifested in one receptacle are together called the Mahabhava. The whole
So
life,
Mahabhava is 19 kinds of emotions. Carry on.
the whole life of a man is required for the practice of one such emotion before he can attain perfection in it. 19 such moods were fully manifested all together here, showing his own body in one receptacle.
So this guy was a master in the 19 kinds of emotions that are manifested in humans or whatever. Can't you see it? Oh,
It sounds amazing.
writing 19 books, this, that, and everything. So at that time, the British, the French, the Spanish, all their stooges, and everybody's trying to make money out of religions. Who is this guy? Sugata Sarabha. Sarabha.
Sugata Saurabha is an epic poem in Nepal Bhasa by Chittadhar Hridaya.
Okay, go to the next paragraph.
The Sugata Saurabha is an epic poem that retells the story of the Buddha's life. It was published in 1947 in Nepalese language.
Yes, this is supposed to be one of the most famous works, historical works for Buddha. Writing about it, and it's very famous. Very famous. They teach about it in schools because they want to teach it. It's not famous because the people are looking for it, but they're taught it. You see? Yes.
Yes.
So yes. So let's go through this. You could read the last sentence. The Sugata.
The Sugata Saurabha tells the life of the Buddha in 19 cantos. However, what's also relevant is sadhana. Okay, how many sadhanas are there?
Wait, that's a long story. But the
Yes.
main thing is we're talking about the Sugata Sarabha, the so-called epic poem. So it's written in 19 cantos. They're saying the word cantos instead of verses. So the thing is, it's written there. So let's go a bit more deeper. Yes, a bit more deeper. Yes.
Sugata Saurabha, the epic, the 19 chapters, in Sugata Saurabha.
So it has how many chapters?
19 chapters, yes.
19. I see. I think we're beginning to understand things here. And since you mentioned the samadhi, yes. So the thing is, because many people are saying these yoga practices, everything.
Yeah, the sadhana. Well, samadhi is, I guess, another part of it, but sadhana is another part, yes.
Yeah,
Samadhi.
you
Samadhi is also
samadhi as
interesting.
well.
Yes, samadhi in Indian philosophy and religion, and particularly in Hinduism and Buddhism, the highest state of mental concentration that people can achieve while still bound to the body and which unites them with the highest reality.
That's very interesting. Yes. So that's very interesting. It's high state of mental consciousness. Sounds amazing. Yeah. Sounds something beautiful. Yes. Samadhi is practiced in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, depending on your schools, yogic schools, a state of meditative consciousness. Yes. So it sounds pretty good. So now let's have a look through this. So normal people, because it's used in many different groups and many things. Well, what do we know about the samadhi? What normal people are teaching?
So they ask what is needed for samadhi, and then they say Patanjali names something like 19 ways to reach samadhi.
But why can't I reach it in one way? Why does it have to be 19? You see, so there is something wrong. So in case somebody, if people want to look up Patanjali, yes, and the samadhi, yes, and things like this, what Patanjali, yes, he's got different names depending if it's in Tibet, if it's in China, if it's in Myanmar. His other names are Gonardiya or Gonikaputra. He was supposed to be an Indian author, mystic, and philosopher. Yes, in ancient India, he lived in 200 BC uh, um, or 400 BC. They can't make their mind up. You see, and he was supposed to be a reincarnation of somebody else. Oh, don't you know? What do you call it? Yes, I am already a reincarnation. I'm a reincarnation of of um uh, of Cesar Nicholas of
Napoleon
Russia.
Bonaparte.
No, 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 no. That's my nephew. I am a reincarnation of Cesar Nicholas. Yes. And before that, I was reincarnated. Before this, I was, King Pedro of Brazil. Before this, I was reincarnated. Before King Pedro, I was King, Frederick Barbarossa of Germany. Before that, I was reincarnated. I was James, the brother of the Lord, James the Just, the Lord Jesus Christ. Oh, before this, I was reincarnated. Do you know this? I was actually a woman in ancient Egypt. Oh, you don't believe me? What's wrong with you? Yes. uh, I don't know what's wrong with people. Yes. So that's the Patanjali. Yes. So according to Patanjali, who's most ancient of ancients, there's around 19 ways to achieve samadhi. Yes. Nothing suspicious about any of these things. Yes. So now let's have a look at this and see, people are talking about Patanjali and the techniques, for this, these so-called arts and states of meditative consciousness. Yes. And so how do we get to clear our mind? How many methods are there? Or pranayama techniques to reach samadhi? Many people are saying this. How many techniques are
There are
there?
19 or so methods of reaching the clear mind.
So it seems like there's about 19, main methods. Okay. Yes, this is disputed because there's many different sects, but many say 19. So what is Radharani?
It's described as the energetic and creative power of the divine. Radharani is, in one sense, one with Krishna, as the sunshine is one with the sun.
I see. Read the next paragraph.
Radharani is the potency who gives transcendental pleasure to Krishna. When the mercy
Ah,
of that.
I see. So to Krishna, as the sunshine is one with the sun. So somebody could turn around and say, alcohol is together with it gives you transcendental pleasure. Somebody could say that. Somebody else could say drugs gives you transcendental pleasure. Somebody else could say sitting there being bored with nothing to do and concentrating on nothing to do can give you transcendental pleasure
Well, all
because
of
you
the
have nothing
above, I
to
guess, are
do.
true in some way, no?
Yeah, and so the thing is, to be in these meditative trances or whatever moods, these things are just invented. Yes, so the Radha Rani. Yes, so let's have a look at this transcendental pleasure and some of the so-called history of this. Yes, the history is important, so you could read it. Yes.
When combining these eight,
No, no, no. The next page. This is the Srimata Radharani, the lotus is foot. Yes.
yes, below the
Lotus
second,
feet of Radharani. It's a very important story, this, in history.
yes, it starts with below the second.
Yes. Go ahead.
Below the second and the middle toe is a mountain. On the heel is a fish, and above the fish is a chariot. Thus, there are 8 markings on the right foot of Srimati Radharani. When combining these 8 with those of the left foot, it becomes 19 auspicious markings.
Ah, are you beginning to see a pattern at last that there's something wrong? Or not yet?
At last,
Don't worry. Don't worry. Yes, don't worry. I got a lot for you and everybody else. Yes. So, what is this Radharani? Yes, Radharani's feet.
what is the meaning of Radha's feet? It depicts that the devotees who solely take shelter of lotus feet of Radharani and Krishna are victorious.
Don't forget, more than half of India, or the majority, didn't even have shoes 100 years ago. So, to protect your feet, you had to watch out, and you will be protected by the Radharani's feet as long as you devoted to her feet. And how many markings are there on Radha's feet? Or
Nineteen,
Radha?
as they
How
explained.
many?
19
Ah,
markings.
I see. So I see. Just in case, you know, people are going to dispute this, this is on many Indian websites. You can find it. Here is her lotus feet, and that's why lotus is a very big symbol in India. You know this, yes?
It is, yes.
It's very big. It's because of the 19 marks
Yeah.
on Radharani's feet and
Yeah.
some other reasons too. Are you beginning to see now? The lotus is even connected to this 19. It's becoming such a joke that you worship, yes, that they're telling you that you should worship it like a god. Yes, you can read this. Yes, go ahead with the title.
Worshipping Sri Radha's lotus feet! Exclamation mark.
Ah, this is one of your gods.
I
Be
worship
careful.
Sri Radha, whose lotus feet are endowed with 19 great auspicious markings.
Okay. As long as you worship these 19 markings on the lotus feet, you're going to be protected, or your feet especially. Can you imagine right now that you are in India 100 years ago? Yes, and half the people are naked and they're walking around. Yes, and things like this. They don't know why they're alive, what they're doing. They're just trying to survive, and they've got no shoes. How seriously will they take if somebody is going to give them a teaching like this? How serious will they take it?
Very serious, it's very important.
Yes, it's almost like somebody wants them to focus on this number 19. You see?
Yes.
Can you see it? So this is not a joke. Somebody is doing this on purpose. Yes. So the thing is, they're even making them going as far as turning it into something like worship. Yes. So now let's have a look at the bhakti. Yes. These different practices and everything, people are saying it's ancient. Yeah, show me the 19 ancient. Yes. So the unfolding of the bhakti. Here is some people, they're telling us it's ancient. Yes, when we look at the letters of the writing or whatever, we can see that whoever wrote this has got this ready for the printing press. Yes, that the letters are separate. Yes, I've only said a few things about the printing press. There's a lot more secrets. So you can see it. This is the inscription. You could read the previous page. What is this
Yes, I
bhakti?
was
What?
about to say, I'm sorry, I can't read that. So here it says, the inscription on the verso in Devanagari script. All right.
Yes, Sanskrit script, Devanagari. Yes, that's the official title. And so when we read through this, yes, when we read through this, you can read it from the beginning.
The Gita Govinda comprises 12 chapters or
12 tribes of Israel, 12 star signs. Keep going.
sargas, very close to sagas, that are further divided into prabandhas containing couplets grouped into sets of 8. These couplets, known as ashtapadis, are meant to be sung. Jayadeva assigned a raga for each song, indicating the mood and pervading emotion of the verses. In this
Ah,
folio, number 19, as indicated on top of the inscription on the verso. There is a rigorous relationship between text and image, as the Saki, commanded by Krishna, pleads his case to Radha.
so as you can see, yes, when we're reading through this and they're telling us to do something, it totally is suspicious. There is something totally wrong. Yes, something is totally wrong. It just doesn't make sense. Something there, it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, yes, when you go through it, it doesn't make sense. There's many different numbers, but in this folio, number 19 is supposed to be very important or whatever. Yes, I've forgotten what that is. We'll come back to that later. So now let's go to the gopi. What are the
Yes.
gopis?
According to Indian philosopher Jiva Goswami, gopis are considered as the eternal beloved and manifestations of the internal spiritual potency of Krishna.
Ah, I see. So this is so it's like you know, some type of reincarnation or incarnation of Krishna. So gopis were different ages. They married women. They had pure devotion. They were just simply stuck to Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. They're just stuck to him. Nobody else. Yes, now the gopis uh, uh, oh, the ladies weren't ordinary or whatever. So they were like not ordinary human beings. So it's like we had superhumans who were living with them. So let's have a look and examine the gopis according to ancient Indian history, or you could call it religious history, part of Vedic history. So the gopis.
The gopis who came to Ras were divided into 19 different groups.
Ah, so the gopis, Rash sounds like Russia or Rash. Yes. So there's 19 different groups. And the gopis plead to Krishna. The next paragraph. I haven't got it there. 19 of these are Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna must have walked on this from here. Let's go through that. Let's see if I've got that. I hope I have. Yes. Anyway, so there's the Rash, and the Great Rash. Maha means mother, or the Great Rash, or the Great Russia. So let's see the Maharash, and so this document. What does it have?
19 verses of this song are in this chapter, and the remaining 3 of its 22 verses are given in the following chapter.
So we have for the Maharash, 19 slokas are found in a specific chapter. Yes. Now let's go through the gopis, sadhus, and things like this when we read through these stories. Yes, I'm not going to go through the details because of all these stories. People are thinking what it is. Go and do the research yourself, and you will find suspicious numerology. Yeah, that's based on the Kabbalah system from 1 to 9, the Alpha and the Omega, which is 19 with all the numbers in the middle. So now, the gopis who were going to Rash. So you could read this.
However, when they reached Karijani, 19
Karajani.
sadhus fell ill, and no one was prepared to sacrifice the Hari Jayanti celebrations.
with
But
Maharaj.
19 sadhus fell ill.
Ah, so there is something suspicious about the entire story. Yes, of these sadhus and things like this. So you could read this. Yes. So how many sadhus fell ill?
19.
19. Yes. So when they arrived in Karyani from Gadada. Yes, from Gadada. Yes. So let's go through a bit more of this history. It's like it becomes totally suspicious. So here we have, who is this guy? Gunatit Anand Swami. Yes, he lived in the 19th century. Yes, so we have this guy who lived in the 19th century. Swami, he's called Swami Narayan Sampradaya. Yes. So yeah, the name is a bit difficult. Yes. Yeah. So what do we know about this Swami Narayan?
The Vachanamrut is a sacred Hindu text consisting of 273 religious discourses delivered by Swami Narayan, sounds like Aryan, from 1819 to 1829 CE.
So he started giving them in 1819. Yes. So that's the the Vatra, regarding the Vatra Namut. So this Swami guy, yes, the Indians have given him a nickname, yes, to make it short even. Yes. What do you call it? Yes. What was it command? What was commanded by Swami?
You should, oh
Oh,
my
to
God,
cultivate cotton.
this is for real. You should cultivate cotton. All right. As commanded by Swami, Jaza Bhagat borrowed a plow and made, guess what?
Yeah.
19 crisscrossing lines in his field and sowed cotton. Wow. That's great.
Okay.
So, religion for agricultural reform? What?
Yes. So now let's have a look. They used to call it the Maharaja cotton. And how many crisscross lines did he do as an example?
19. Just
So that
19.
they
Just
should,
exactly
so that they
19.
should cotton farming.
Just
Yes.
19.
I,
Don't need a
and he,
20th line. Just
yeah.
19.
Yes. So what do we know about the cotton in India?
The need for cotton led Britain to India and created the British Empire as it was known for 100 years.
Not just the British, but the French, the Italians, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the
And the
Dutch.
next
They all
sentence
went there.
is exactly what you've always been saying. Here it is referenced. The need for cotton took India from being a group of warring principalities to becoming a united country.
Yes.
The need for
That,
cotton created India as it is today.
Yes. So now let's go through more. People can study each of these topics themselves. I'm jumping from topic to topic because I want people to get a general idea because of the many comments. Yes. So the Bashyakara or something. Yes, about the Akshara Brahman. What do we know? You could read it. How the unknowable becomes knowledgeable. Yes.
The Bhashyakara first states that the knowledge of Akshara Brahman is only attained through scripture. Oh my God. Through scripture, and cites a total of 19 Upanishadic verses.
Yeah, so they recommended this to you. So it's almost like whoever wrote this recommended 19.
And not just that, but even it says is only attained through scripture.
Yeah, in other words, they
Only through
wanted people
scripture. They want you to
yes,
read, not experience anything. Yeah?
yes, somebody wanted people to read these books. You see? Yes. So now, what is this back? This but that word, difficult word, Bashyakara. What is it?
It is a commentator or expounder of technical texts or aphorisms, commonly applied as an epithet of Patanjali.
Ah, So, so the thing is, as we noticed, there is the Akshara and Brahman. It's two different words that they compiled. So, Akshara, Akshara Dham or Akshardham Temple in Delhi, not far from Patparganj. Yeah, I've been to the temple. It looks amazing. The architecture. It's not very old. It's a new one, but it's amazing architecture, interesting if anybody goes there. So but anyway, to the Swami Narayan Hinduism, the more we go through this Swami guy, what do we know? Yes, how many sadhus were around assigned to his Akshardham?
They didn't find the 20th, 19 sadhus.
Were assigned. Ah, so the more we go through it, it's very suspicious. Like even the recent history and everything, it's just totally suspicious that people could read through it. Introduction to Swami Narayan Hinduism. The thing is there. Let me just find it. I've just sent you. And the thing is, what do you call it? It's. I was. There's some reason why I saved this. Um, a lot of Hinduism is new, and it's from these 19th century people who are trying to make money. I'm not sure what I wanted to say from this place. And objects used, monuments. So what they did in the 19th century, they were building many temples and many other things. Followers of these new sects and new groups claiming that they had ancient manuscripts and other things, and many of these manuscripts and many of these philosophies or ideas based on history, yes, are based on the number 19. Yes, I'm not sure why I've got that page, but it's there if anybody wants to read from the history. It's got something to do with maybe even Tajasa, but I've forgotten. But let's move on. Yes, and you can read this concept.
Endowed with light. Taijasa, which means endowed with light, is one of the many different levels of existence which the jiva experiences due to the activity of Maya. It is the second of the three stages of consciousness that are part of the individual order of the jiva.
Very interesting concepts. So now let's have a look at the Vedic texts themselves, and what do we find about the Taijasa?
Taijasa has 7 members and 19 instruments of knowledge.
Ah, I see. So there is something that's strange about it. And before we mentioned the Vachanamrut, yes. Let's go back to that. We're going back and forth because I've not written this book yet. So sorry if it's not organized. When I write it, or you can do research yourselves about the Swami Narayan Hinduism. Yes. Um, so when they opened up, when this religion grew, what do you call it? He visited the country 19 centers. He made
Ah.
where regular sabas were practicing or doing whatever. Yeah, the full sentence isn't there. Um, what do you call it? Yes, and he supposed But anyway, let's move on to the Shastri Shriji Maharaj or Shastriji Maharaj. Yeah, I've not got the full information because I haven't written a book on this yet. I haven't had the time. I wasn't going to, but maybe I'll write one day. If I ever have the time. Yes, but all this is important. The Shriji Maharaj, what did he do?
He demonstrated in the satsang the miracle of trance through Swami Shri.
Yes. So there's many of these words. They've just invented these words and given them meanings. Yes, and when we look at how they do the practices, yes, um, the Dandvat Pranam, yes, what do they do? The
Dandvat,
sadhu, what do they do?
Dandvat Pranam is a ritual during which devotees offer their respects and surrender themselves to God and his Gunatit Sadhu by bowing down.
Okay, so we saw the Shriji Maharaj or the Shastriji Maharaj, yes, and what we could see is that they're bowing down. What do you call it? Yes, supposed to be bowing down. Yes, and these sadhus or something. Yes, it's because I haven't written a book on this, so I can't explain it very easily. But let's go back to the Swami. Yes, to the Swami guy. You know, Bhagavan Swami, here they're calling him God Swami. Yes, what did he do?
As soon as the 19 saints were in sight, Shiriji Maharaj started doing dandvats. They
Now
all
you're
rushed to
doing,
stop him. Yeah, okay.
okay.
19 saints, anyhow,
Now,
yeah.
yeah. So now you can see why I showed the Shriji Maharaj and the Danvat. They started doing the bowing downs as soon as the 19 saints were found. You see the Danvats, the
Hmm.
bowing down? Yes. So that's what it is. I almost forgot myself how to explain it. Yes. So
Well, they like
what?
to use all not just fancy words, but even words in different languages and
Yes.
change the
It's because
spelling.
I've not written a book on this yet, but I know it. It's basically 19, 19, 19, 19, 19. It just does your head in, you know, somebody's invented the entire history. And from there, we've got the religions, Hinduism and Buddhism and all these other things. So here again, yeah. Um, what do we know
Yeah,
about
again,
this?
the 19 distinguishing marks on the soles of Lord Krishna's lotus feet, as we
Ah,
talked about
before
before.
it was Radha's.
Right, with someone else's lotus feet. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
What to do?
Radha is supposed to be the wife of
Mm.
Lord Krishna, but this is on the Lord Krishna's lotus feet this time. So we've got 19 marks there, and what do you call it? So it's not just the ladies' feet before. Here it is. Many people are actually spending money on this, time on this. How should I remember the lotus feet of Lord Krishna? 19. Yes, the forefoot. It's the bottom of the feet. You see? Yes. And I actually didn't want to say this. I was going to hide this. Um, I was going to hide it because I don't want people to know many things for now, because I was going to wait till the stupid comments come out and say, so what, blah, 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 etc. Yes. But you know what? I got a surprise for you, mates. Yes. You want to see the surprise?
Yes.
Ah, here's the surprise. So, how many human bones are there in the forefoot?
There are 19 bones.
In the forefoot. Ah, this is this. Now, there's going to be some people who don't understand between the forefoot, like the bottom, and things like this. Like the foot has got 26 or so bones, depending where you start your feet. Yes, but the forefoot, yes, have got how many bones? The forefoot, exactly.
26 bones.
No, no, no. That's not the forefoot. That's
Right.
the
The
human
foot is
foot. Oh,
26 and then the other is
you know.
19. Yes.
19 is the forefoot, the bottom. You
Mm-hmm.
see? So
Mm-hmm.
basically the bottom. So now they're telling us there was 19 marks there. You see? So now there is going to be some people who are going to say, that proves that there's some ancient science there. No, it doesn't. And they're going to be saying, they put the science in there and something. No, it's something recent. They invented these things recently and they're using these things and they want you to think it's divine. And then they want to show you something else, the secret of the 33rd degree. They're using that there, something to do with God is a man. People will have to read my book when that's out. You know, it's too long for me to mention it here myself. So the thing is, they're even using it in art. Many of these artists are actually working for them. Yes, maybe the artist doesn't even know why he's doing it himself, but you could read this. of these so-called artists, what they're doing.
From ISKCON News, rising devotional artist stuns with his inspiring wall art. Towering behind the Kirtanyas was a 13 by 19-foot acrylic painting on wooden board, depicting Lord Nityananda dancing.
Yeah. So the thing is, they're even putting it in measurements and other things. But maybe the painter or whoever the artist, he didn't have an idea why. So they're even doing this today. You know, part of the Swami organization. This is somebody who's alive today. Another guy with the name named Swami pra- Prabhupada. Yes, and
I'm pretty sure he's
during.
dead, but he's very popular. He's from the
Oh, is he
Krishna
already dead?
Society. I'm pretty sure this guy's dead, but he's the most famous guy, and he wrote this book,
Ah,
Bhagavad Gita as it is. I'm pretty sure that's the guy.
that book is full of 19 this, that, and everything, or his other books. I forgot him, but let's read about him. His first year in New York.
During his first year in New York, he initiated 19 people.
Ah, so these people are continuing the same thing, doing the same thing. Now, once again, I'm going to go through this to explain it a bit more clearer. When you look at these pictures, I want people to look at them. They've seen that one before. Let's go through more of these pictures. India, 100 years ago. Here are the people. Yes, they're calling them Aboriginals. It means the locals. The locals were naked. They were doing farming. They were had hardly any clothes, and they were working for the princes or other colonial places. Even if we go to India today, people are still living in these mud huts or made of tin and just tree stalk and other things. And because now the world economy is better, yes, so things have got better. Yes, but the thing is, let's have a look at this, that people in the city area, because people look at the city photographs, they don't realize that 90% of India lived in villages 100 years ago. So you will see these city people and they've got a bit more clothes on. No, that's because they were in the cities. Yes, and the villages that the Europeans went to visit, yes, the thing is, because they had interaction with these villages, the people had more clothes. But the reality is, the way people were living there, yes, you can see they couldn't read or write. They could just had their basic necessities, if they could even eat food or anything. That even in the 1950s, it's actually a very sad human history that India was living like this in the 50s, 60s, 70s. You know what I mean? Yes, it was very, very poor. That here we're looking at India, going into the 1950s, during and after the partition. Even when the partition happened, it was like half naked people and things like this. It's a very sad history, but that doesn't mean that India was like this before the British arrived, or in the 17th century. Something is wrong with the entire history of India. That we can compare it, that even to 100 years ago, even today, there's millions of people that are living in very sad things. If anybody is watching this, when you go to India, please take thousands of dollars with you and feed people. So now what nationalists will try to do, and people who are trying to imagine India, they're going to look at the few percent, 90 odd percent lived in villages, and they're going to show no, there was an educated class, 3%, and people in the cities, there was the
Right.
civilization. No, these people, the cities were blown up more than 150 years ago. These people in the cities worked in the European factories, and then they had clothes that then somebody's going to point out photographs from the 1970s. That doesn't represent the Vedas or anything before then. That the actual sad history is the reality. It was so poor that people who went from Europe, they realized that these people don't know anything, and within 50 years or 100 years, things are going to move forward, and we can make them worship us or follow our religions. That we can see here. Here is a European officer or something, 1900, and the thing is, it's like the people, they were just living in ridiculous poverty in the cities. That in the villages, it was even worse. it's actually fully naked. I'm not showing the pictures here because maybe I'm not allowed. This is 1947. The people that are there, most of them didn't even have a very big vocabulary where they could actually speak much to actually describe things. And what type of consciousness or spirit practices or soul practices or practices or religion that these people have? Is somebody having a laugh with me? These people are illiterate. They didn't know Sanskrit. Yes, it's a well-known fact. This is in my books. If any, my books goes through parts of the history of India, especially in the book Tadar City and some other books. It goes through it that that they falsified the monuments. Not Tadar City in Lemuria. They falsified many of these buildings and other things that what type of religious practices were these people doing when they could barely feed themselves? Can you tell me? Give me an answer right now.
No, well, nothing fancy and nothing with scripture or big recitations, probably. So,
There, there was nothing. There was nothing. Many people who went there. I'm not just talking about British records. We've got records from, from Russia, from Bulgaria, people who went there from Iran, from Turkey, from Syria, from, from Italy. People are giving different reports that it was just, that the principalities were just abusing people. Yes,
uh,
and things like that, and the Hindu pundits and the gurus, or whatever way they followed, whichever Hinduism or Buddhism, even in China, they were abusing people. And the falsification of monuments is in my book, Lemuria. Yes, if anybody wants to read it. Yes. So the thing is, there is something wrong. Oh, by the way, I'm nowhere near finished. Yes, and then what we will see is that we're going to find in India, in the countryside, many monuments. Let's go through them. And some of these things are found in Sichuan, like these towers. They're also found in Turkey. They're also found in Russia. Yes. So these kind of monuments are found there. By the way, this is a picture of the forest in Nalamala or something like this in central India. So now let's go to central India. Yes, people are trying to tell me that these people had religious practices or something. Prove it. Prove it. Now this is Nalamala is located in Andhra Pradesh and surrounding places. Yes, it's in central India. Yes, the Nala Mala range. You can see Andhra Pradesh there. Yes, the Nala Mala range. This forest region is pretty big. Pretty big. You can see. Yes. So
mhm.
the thing is, India, even right now, let's have a look at 10 years ago, urbanization was around 30% or 35%. It's like China, low urbanization. Yes, majority of people live in the countryside. Yes. So Andhra Pradesh, for example, what do you call it, 10 years ago, urban population was only like 35% maximum where this forest is. Yeah, so we've got people, what do you call it, even in the year 1900, only 10% of people lived in cities, probably even less. And when we're talking about the cities, we're talking about the shanty towns in the cities. Yes, here we are. People are living in the cities or in the area surrounding the cities that this would be classified, yes, as a village, yes, in 1908 in Andhra Pradesh. But many people are living in the countryside. So now what we've got is something strange. Many buildings are damaged in India. And for example, here is a building in Andhra Pradesh 100 years ago. This building is either brand new or it's been refurbished and it's modified. Now, this is the Guptar Ghat on the banks of the river Sarayu. Yes? So, in Faizabad, Ayodhya, Uttar Pradesh, India. Now, when we look at this building very clearly, yes, I'm going to make it bigger. Now, anybody who knows this will know that many people have said Tartaria or whatever you want to call it, there was a global civilization. Now, when anybody looks at this village, that building, the entire area looks deserted. And the building looks like it's been refurbished or modified to what the whatever. the eastern things on the top. Can you see? It seemed like any other Western building that you will see in Paris or in Rome or in London or anywhere else. Can you see? They've just added three
Mm-hmm.
things at the top, which is pretty clear to me. The date of the photograph is 1863, according to them. Now the thing is, I forgot which building it is, but in Holland or somewhere there is a similar building like this. And then when we look at this, this is in Hyderabad, the Charminar. Yes, what we can see is that along the many things are either brand new or they've been refurbished. Yes, and it's like half of a ghost town because the majority of the people lived in villages. Can you see along the bottom? It looks like brand new or they've modified it. The Europeans and
Mm-hmm.
the princes have done something. You can see this. So we don't know who built these things. Then